Whole show going crazy. Whole show going crazy. Top 5 we debating.
Top 5. 5 Over Friends, the show where we debate our top 5 list on a topic chosen by a listener with the listener.
As usual, our friendship goes out the door once we get into it. This is 5 Over Friends. Hey guys, it's Seth. When Wes and I decided to start our podcast, we used Anchor because it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And they'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's essentially everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of 5 Over Friends. I'm Wes.
And I'm Seth. Thanks for joining us, guys.
All right, so we're going to start with an introduction of both of us so you guys can kind of get to know who we are and how 5 Over Friends became a podcast. So as I said before, I'm Wes. I'm 26 years old. I'm from North Carolina. I work in the tech industry, an analyst and write a little software with that. Newly married last September, and we have a dog, no kids yet. And my favorite sports teams are the Atlanta Braves, the Carolina Panthers, and Charlotte Hornets. I'm not a huge NBA fan, but when I do, I'm pulling for the Hornets. And that's pretty much the rundown of me. So let's hand it over to Seth and see what he has to say.
Yeah, I'm 32. I'm from Kansas City, born and raised here. So I'm a huge Chiefs, Royals fan. It was tough for a long time with the Royals and the Chiefs, but past 5 years or so, we've really turned it around. Thank you, Pat Mahomes. Appreciate you very much. Big Sporting KC fan. As far as NBA goes, I was a huge Kobe fan growing up, so I kind of adopted the Lakers. It's interesting because I'm not a huge LeBron fan, so that's a balance. A little hesitancy when that happened, but that's my team, so I got to root for them. I've been married for about 3 years now. My wife's name is Montana. We got a little one. He is almost 2 years old. We got another one on the way, so both boys. The next one is due around the same time as the first one, just 2 years later. So it's going to be interesting juggling those birthdays. The first one especially, but then, going forward forever, it'll be interesting to juggle those. And then I work in the health insurance industry, so I'm actually pretty new to that industry. Only been in there for about 4 months now, so a little different for me. I came from a hospital, but now I'm kind of getting the other side of the coin, so really enjoying it and learning a lot. But yeah, this is our first episode, so just kind of wanted to give you guys a little background on each of us. Then we want to talk about how we met, because I'm from Kansas City and Wes is from the East Coast. We're in North Carolina, so we're kind of far spread apart, and we have only met each other in person twice now.
Yeah,
which is kind of interesting.
We both talked about how we were married. The 2 times that we've actually been able to hang out were for each other's weddings. So we spent some time together those weekends, and that was a lot of fun. So the background of how we met. So I had a buddy who was looking for a certain pair of shoes. I believe it was a pair of 11s. Now that I think about it, Jordans. And he was half a size different from me, and I had paid attention to Seth's timeline and followed him because I tried to squeeze into some shoes that were half size smaller sometimes if it was a good deal, and then Seth was half size smaller than me, and so I DM'd Seth about a pair that I was going to grab for a buddy, could make the connection, and just kind of started a conversation, and slowly, I think we just interacted with each other more on Twitter, joined a group message together, did some Google Hangouts. And
honestly, it's like we just had a lot of mutual interests as far as like sports goes. We're both huge into sports. A lot of similar music interests at one point. And then we kind of always were into sneakers. around the same time. Like you said, we're kind of around the same size. And if you're a sneakerhead, sometimes you make that extra half size or that less half size, make it work. So yeah, we just kind of chatted every day in the group chat that we had with some other guys. And then Wes and I's friendship just kind of bonded just because we were both interested in so many different topics. We're kind of going through some of the same life stuff, even though he's 6 years behind me in age, kind of going through some of the same stuff at different times. But yeah, it's been really cool to see our friendship grow. It's kind of weird talking about because we've only met twice, but we talk like every day almost. I would say like 99% of the days, at least a text here or there. Recently talking more and more about the stock market just because of the times we're in. It's like a good time to hop in. So we're like,
that's when you know you're getting old too, when it shifts from like sports and sneakers to the stock market.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he got married, so he's officially old now. So that's just how it goes. I've been there. So I've aged a lot since having a kid. Say having a kid ages you like 5 years every year. You can tell by the wrinkles on my face if you ever see me. But yeah, anyway, that's just a little bit about us. But we don't want to talk too much about that. We really want to kind of give you guys an overview of what the podcast is going to be about and what we want to do kind of in the future to engage our listeners. So the premise is 5 Over Friends. The name itself just really comes down to, when I debate something, I really put my opinions above anything else, unfortunate at times. So, our top 5 is when we're debating over our friendship. So, I'll really trash Wes's opinions on a lot of shit because I just feel like he's got some trash opinions. So we thought it'd be good to kind of go back and banter back and forth. But the premise that we want to talk about is we really want to engage listeners. So every week we plan on having a listener on the show to kind of debate different topics with us. And how we're going to determine the topics is based on suggestions from you all. So what we'd like to do is have listeners go on our most recent Instagram post and suggest topics. And then whichever topic we happen to like the most, we will select that topic, and whoever suggested it will be offered to come and join us on the show. So we really hope that people are interacting with us and we're having a good opportunity to interact with them. And I think we've decided on, we're going to post these on Tuesdays, hopefully, and then we'll give people, 2 or 3 days to get some suggestions in there before we kind of get prepared for the next one, right, Wes?
Yeah, I think make a decision sometime on Friday, just to give us and the listener time to schedule a call to be able to chat for an hour, and I think it'll be really cool, especially as we are able to kind of reach more people, to be able to talk to the listeners, and like Seth and I, we met online and grew this friendship, and I think it would be really awesome to be able to have a group of listeners that feel like they're our online friends and they're interacting with us, and it'd be really cool to just kind of foster those relationships and chat with listeners and debate with them week in and week out.
Yeah, for sure. Like just a big group of friends, really. And then, we'll put up polls on who you guys think won the debate. So, of course, I'll win most of the time, so we don't have to worry too much about the polls. It's just how it is. I know I've debated with Wes enough. I know I typically win. You guys will see that here in this first episode, I'm sure, also. But, yeah, we just want to kind of – it's interesting because we've been friends now for, 7 or 8 years? And it all started over the internet on Twitter. So I think it'd be cool if we could kind of connect with, our listeners remotely and virtually, kind of like we did, and see what happens. See if we can kind of grow all together, just like a big group of friends. That's kind of what I was envisioning when we were talking about creating a podcast.
All right. So without any further fanfare here, let's get into the first topic that we're going to do. And so this week we're just going to go Seth and I, just to allow for the introduction and just to kind of get one episode under our belts before we move into having a listener on, because we don't have listeners yet. So
True.
you gotta
have
have
at least one after this.
Yeah, you gotta have listeners before you can have a listener on your podcast. So the first topic that we've decided to debate our top 5 on is cereal.
Top 5 cereals. We figured it was something pretty universal that people, a lot of listeners could have an opinion on. I'm sure we'll get into more like in-depth topics in the future. Hopefully. I mean, that's kind of the plan. But cereal, kind of everybody has tried cereal. I feel like everybody can kind of relate to cereal. And everybody has different opinions on cereal, I feel like. I know I have pretty strong opinions about my favorite cereals. And I'm sure that I'll have some strong opinions about Wes's trash choices as well. So
I just have
we'll let Wes share his,
the same here.
Number 5 here.
All right, we'll go with number 5. My number 5 cereal is Pops.
All right. So now you got to give me a reason why you pick Pops. Like,
man,
what makes it good?
It's something I had all the time growing up. I don't even know why I picked it. I don't know why I liked it, and I still like it to this day. And it's just the puffiness of it, I think. I think it's just the puffiness and the sweetness of it. It's just that yellow puff is so good.
That's some terrible justification, number one. So this is clearly not a strong feeling from you. All right, I'll be honest with you. I actually like Pops quite a bit. They're not on my list, but, I can't hate too much on Pops. The reason I like Pops is because they were one of the sweeter cereals that I was able to have when I was a kid. And my parents pretty much just bought whatever was on sale, because we just came from buying stuff on sale. That's how I grew up. So that's how I live my life now for the most part. But when it comes to cereal, I'm pretty picky. So my number 5 is, and again, I'm actually kind of on the same page as Wes. Y'all probably tear me up in the comments and whatever kind of reactions, but Frosted Mini Wheats is number 5.
No,
all right, because
you can't have mini wheats in your top 5. I don't
this
care.
Is why I have mini wheats in my top 5. Okay, I do not like soggy cereal whatsoever. I gotta have crunch to my cereal. It's a must.
Then eat it.
And I know there are people who like soggy cereal because I don't know why they like it. Honestly, it's trash. I'm not a big milk drinker either, so I don't drink the milk after my cereal. So I gotta put a little preface into my list here. I don't drink the milk after this. But Frosted Mini Wheats, all right. It can be crunchy, it can be soft, it can be soggy. It's the only one I can eat soggy. Like, if it's in there for more than 3 minutes, I can actually get it down. It's got that fiber in it, so it helps me stay regulated, right? So I'm
answer here.
Exactly. I don't have to take my Metamucil. I told you I aged 5 years after the first year having my little one. So, number 5, Frosted Mini Wheats. It's great. You can get the kind with blueberry in it. You can get the kind with strawberry in it. You can get the little tiny ones. You can get the big ones. It's all good. It's got that nice, but it's got to have the frosting. You can't just be plain wheat. That I'm not good down for that.
All right, let's hear your 4.
All right, so my number 4, without further ado, is Captain Crunch's Crunch Berries, because those are fire. The only thing you got to do is heed some warning to the roof of your mouth, because that shit will tear your ass up. Mm-hmm. But other than that, fire. Absolute fire. It's got the crunch. It's got the sweetness like you talked about with the Pops. With those little berries, those are like little nuggets of deliciousness.
Yeah, I've got
with the rest of the regulars. So
no arguments on the Captain Crunch with berries.
Captain Crunch berries, no doubt. Number 4 for me.
All right, number 4, Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops. All right.
It's I'm not a big chocolatey cereal person, so none of my list is chocolate cereal. But Fruit Loops were one of my favorites. And I'm a milk drinker after, and I don't drink milk by itself ever. But I'm done. I'll drink milk when I'm done with my bowl of cereal, and I think Fruit Loop milk is up there.
It's up there.
It's up there in some of the best. And my number 1, I think the best part about my number 1 is the milk. I'm just not just spoiler for everybody. I'm not going to spoil it there. But Fruit Loops, love the flavor. Not too sweet, but I love the milk afterwards.
I can't hate on Fruit Loops. I don't like chocolatey cereal either, so I'm hoping we didn't pick a lot of the same ones. We haven't so far. Fruit Loops is all right. I mean, it's kind of like they wanted to remake the Cheerio but make it sweeter for kids. I'm like, I don't know. The shape of it, to me, I got other fruity. I got other cereals that aren't chocolatey that I like better than Fruit Loops. My son likes Fruit Loops, so you and him might get along, you know.
And Fruit Loops are superior to the Fruity Pebbles. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there too.
All right, so what's your number 3?
My number 3, Cap'n Crunch with berries.
Oh, see, look at that. It's fire. I
Yep,
mean,
it is good. I remember we had in I can't remember if it was middle school or high school or something. There was a snack thing that you could get in the cafeteria, which was dry Cap'n Crunch. And
the hell?
Yeah, I know it was so good. I can eat it. I can eat it dry. I can eat it with milk. This is not one. The milk after Cap'n Crunch is not the reason, but that I like it because I don't think the milk tastes any better after Cap'n Crunch. But Cap'n Crunch with berries, that's my number 3.
It is good, but you know they should get like some Band-Aids for the roof of your mouth for real. I'm not kidding. Like you eat that more than like 2 days in a row, and your shit is fucked up.
You have to.
And
maybe you should move your stance a little bit on the soggy cereal for Cap'n Crunch and just let it sit there a little longer.
No, can't do it. Sorry. But what I can say about the Cap'n Crunch is it's delicious. So that's.
You ever tried the Just Berries one?
Yeah, but I need a little bit of the OG in there. Mm-hmm. I can't just have the berries.
I can't do just the Cap'n Crunch, and I can't do just the berries. I gotta have the Cap'n Crunch with berries.
And I don't like the name. Oops, all berries, like fucking manufacturer. Oopsie doopsie, we accidentally just put berries. Like just the name of it annoys me, so I don't fuck with it. All right, my number 3 is like, okay, my top 3, honestly, I had some major debate over because I love all 3 of them. And number 3 is Lucky Charms for me. So, I mean, you got like the knockoff Cheerio. So you got like the OG cereal in there. I know that like cornflakes or whatever is probably the OG cereal, but everybody knows what a Cheerio is. They all know what it tastes like. You basically got a Cheerio mixed with some delicious concentrated sweetness of the marshmallow. It's fire, it's flames, it's so fucking good. You can get a bite without any marshmallows and you're like, okay, I got that. And then you get a bite with like mostly marshmallows. You're overly satisfied. I try to ration mine. Try to get at least one marshmallow if I can.
Gotta have a marshmallow in every bite or it's trash.
And I've noticed, at least it seems like from when I was a kid, they're increasing their marshmallow to cereal ratio.
Yeah.
So you're like getting more marshmallows, and I'm sure that's because it's less expensive in the manufacturing process. I don't really give a shit why they're doing it, but it is much better.
It's just colored sugar. But if they had a higher ratio of marshmallow to fake frosted Cheerio, that's essentially what they have. If the ratio was higher, not quite half and half, I'd say if we got a 60-40 ratio, then that could crack my top 5. But unless I'm getting 2 marshmallows in every bite or something, I can't do it. It's just
it's delicious.
The knockoff frosted Cheerios is just not enough for me without enough marshmallows.
You see, you dump. Okay, so I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. It's cereal, then you pour the milk on top, right?
Oh yes, no. If you do the other,
there's some like psychos out there who do the milk first, and that's just insane to me. You put the milk on top of it, and then you can see like the pigmented dye come off of the marshmallows, and it's changing the flavor of the milk. It's just, it's gonna be delicious. As soon as you see the pigment start to change the color of the milk, you're like, all right, this is the one right here. So that's my number 3.
All right, let's hear 2.
Number 2, I feel like I need to put some verbiage in here for the listeners. I love this cereal. It is like I have an obsession with these top 2 cereals. And I know people hate this cereal. And I can be honest, I don't really care what anybody thinks about my opinion on this cereal. You can say whatever you want. You can trash me. Don't care. It's fire. And they got really dope commercials with all their employees talking about it. So Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds is absolute fire.
As soon as you said the commercial with the employees, I knew that's what you were gonna say.
Give me that lady with the hairnet talking about how flames their shit is. It is so good. I love it. I mean, I eat and I feel bad just saying
You're showing your age. You're showing your age picking honey.
I don't give a shit. Like I said before, I do not care. It is so good, but it has to be with almonds. It cannot just be. It can't be the one with walnuts. I don't know why they even make this other shit, or the one without any nuts in it at all. Has to be with almonds. Number one. And this is one of the reasons I gained so much weight, and I've had to go on a weight loss program. When I eat Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds, I eat half of a family-sized box in one sitting, and that is no exaggeration. Like, I'm eating cereal's cheap as shit, right? But I'm eating $4 in fucking cereal when I'm sitting down and having some Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds.
Jay likes Honey Bunches with almonds, and I can't do it. I can't do it. And I didn't mention my wife's name earlier. Her nickname that I call her is Jay. So that when I say Jay, that's who I'm referring to.
Yeah, well, Jay's got good taste. You got shitty taste. I already knew that, though. I can tell by
She's got good taste in men, for sure.
Well, everybody messes up every once in a while.
All right, let's hear. We'll go with my two. This is an old person cereal. I'll admit it, but I mean, I think everybody should love it. Honey Nut Cheerios. It honestly could have had the one spot. No, it's so good. You made fun of my Honey Bunches of Oats with almond, and you're gonna go with Honey Nut Cheerios. This shit was invented in like 1922. And they did it right the first time, I promise.
They did it right the first time?
It's so
It doesn't even have the B on it anymore, bro.
I don't care. It's good.
They can't put the B on it.
It's got just enough sweetness. The milk, I drink the milk after Honey Nut Cheerios. The milk's got that honey flavor afterwards. It's so good.
Oh, yeah. It's trash. It's terrible. It's fucking awful.
That honestly, there was a debate with 1 and 2. That's 1 and 2. I eat them both a lot. And I eat cereal for breakfast still.
Well, I knew you were basic, so at least now all the listeners know you are as well. So we got that out of the way. Episode 1, just mark it down at whatever the timestamp is when he said number 2 is whatever, Honey Nut Cheerios. I can't even think of the name because it's so trash.
It's better than Honey Bunches of Oats. Let's be clear about that. All right.
At least mine's got like some real protein in it. It got some nuts in it. What's yours got? Yours has the name nut and it doesn't have any fucking nuts in it. Think about that.
There's got to be some.
About it.
There's got to be some sort of. I've never
sprinkle some nut dust in there. Whatever the fuck nut dust.
I'll keep this podcast PG or PG-13 at least, and not comment further on nut dust. Wow. So we're both down to our number 1.
They're definitely not the same because I already know based on the comment you made earlier. So.
Oh yeah. And to be clear, going into this, we do not know each other's top 5, and that's.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we want everybody to know that we think that makes the reactions better.
Well, it's more authentic. I know how trash you are, in the spur of the moment. I don't have to wreck you over the coals before the podcast too.
And
it saves you.
When we have the listeners on, we're going to tell them the same. Don't tell us your top 5. We want to hear it live, and we want to have our real reactions to telling them how good or how trash their opinion is.
I want to know what your number 1 is now. So.
All right, I was trying to give some cinematic pause there.
Yeah, I know, but I've heard your other trash cereals, so I'm really interested in number 1 here.
All right, number 1 for me is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's a good cereal. It's the one that I probably eat the most still to this day. It's one that I didn't get a whole lot growing up because of how sweet and sugary it is. I think Honey Nut Cheerios is on my list so high because it's one that I got all the time growing up because they're they're Cheerios. You can my parents were okay with me having Cheerios for breakfast.
Yeah, because they're basic.
Well, and the
cereal is basic.
They're a little healthier too. So it's there's a little sweet. There's the sweetness there, but they're still a little healthier. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and like I said earlier, probably the best part of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch is that cinnamon milk when you're done
Can I
eating
just
it.
make sure that we're on the same page here, that your favorite cereal is a knockoff of a real breakfast? I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So rather than just getting real French toast, this dude said his favorite is a knockoff dry-ass
Cinnamon.
version
This is
of-
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. They make a French Toast Crunch, and it is terrible. This is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, okay, sorry. French toast with cinnamon sprinkled on it. Shit, like, come on. That's your number one.
Yep, number one.
I mean, it's good.
So to recap my list, we're going Pops at 5, Fruit Loops at 4, Cap'n Crunch with berries at 3, Honey Nut Cheerios at 2,
Terrible selection.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch at 1, and like I said, I don't do chocolatey cereals. So sorry to you guys that like the chocolate chunk or whatever those terrible chocolatey cereals are.
Yeah, I don't like those either. Okay, so Cinnamon Toast Crunch is good. It's fine. Like, I'll eat it. My most experience with Cinnamon Toast Crunch, honestly, is when I was going through the line at like middle school and high school. I used to get like those cereal bars that they had, and they had like that dehydrated milk.
Sprinkled like it was like an icing on top of them.
Yes. And I would get the Cinnamon Toast Crunch because they packed that shit with so much sugar. It was like eating a candy bar.
I haven't had.
And they didn't offer candy bars, so I was like, okay, I'll just get this because it's the same shit.
Did y'all have the little individual pack like boxes of cereal that you could get for breakfast in the mornings at school if you got there early enough?
Well, they had those, but they switched it over to like the bowls. Like, it was like prepackaged bowls, and you could just rip off the top.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I had. Yeah. I don't think we ever had Honey Nut Cheerios or Cinnamon Toast Crunch for those. I don't remember what exactly I think we had like Rice Krispies and regular Cheerios.
Oh yeah, because they had to go with the zero sugar shit.
Yeah.
All right, so on to the penultimate number one. Everybody knows this is coming because everybody knows this is the GOAT cereal. It's Fruity Pebbles. Like, come on, Fruity Pebbles is delicious. It is so good.
Flashback to about 10 minutes ago when I trashed Fruity Pebbles, saying that my number 4 was better than your number 1.
Well, you didn't even give a reason for that, but I'll give you a reason why they're the best. You get a spoonful, you're getting a whole damn spoonful of cereal. You're not getting there's no gaps of air in there. You're getting all cereal all the time, 24/7. It's delicious. And you know how much I told you I ate Honey Bunches of Oats? Well, this one is just as bad, if not worse. I eat about 12 ounces of Fruity Pebbles at a time. That's why my belly looks the way it does right now. That's why I'm not trying to hit the beach with the beach bod anytime soon. But they're delicious. I know, they taste waxy at times. But you know what? It's one of those cereals that I can't buy an off-brand of. Like, there are those certain cereals you can't just go get the Malto meal or whatever, the mom brand, or the whatever your local grocery store is. I don't know. Y'all got Kroger's or H-E-B or whatever, King Supers
Publix.
or Publix. Yeah, see, we don't have that shit in Kansas City. We got we got Hy-Vee. We got Price Chopper. We got regional places.
Yeah, I can never with Fruity Pebbles. I can never get over that waxy taste you were talking about earlier. They just taste fake to me.
Oh yeah, they taste like fake, amazing little pieces of rice.
I just can't get over that fake taste.
They're delicious. Absolutely delicious.
And I mean, not that any of this is real, so to speak, the berries and the Fruit Loops, and there's no real fruit in those, but they don't have that fake taste that Fruit Loops do to me, or Fruit Loops and the berries do not have that fake taste that Fruity Pebbles do to me.
Yeah, and that fake taste is what makes them amazing. So good. It's like sometimes you know that you're eating shit, but it tastes fire, so you eat it anyway. I mean, that's what you do. But I just really want to touch on a point. We both don't like chocolate cereal, and that's because it's complete garbage. I just apologize to anybody out there who likes chocolate cereal. My wife likes chocolate cereal. Trash. I make fun of her every time she eats it. She likes Cocoa Pebbles, and she likes.
Jay got a box of the chocolate Cheerios. I didn't even know they made that.
They're just making that shit to make something else. They just gotta have another option out there to expand their product line, because it's got to be trash. I heard somebody say their top cereal was Reese's Puffs. Okay, I had to try it after somebody told me it was their top cereal. Absolute trash. Okay, Travis Scott, I see you on the cover, but come on, these are absolute garbage.
Peanut butter and chocolate is like my favorite dessert combo. I love Reese's Cups. I like a peanut butter and chocolate cake or something like that. I love it. But
ice cream, bro. Chocolate peanut butter ice cream is fire.
Or the Reese's Cup ice cream, where it's vanilla ice cream with like the Reese's Cups.
With the cups.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But I cannot do Reese's Puffs. They're
terrible.
And another one that I cannot do, that I do not know how people do it, Cookie Crisp.
That's one of the ones that Montana likes to do. I'm like, these are like child cereals. Yeah, I like Fruity Pebbles because it's fire. These are terrible. Like Cocoa Puffs, and that's why I wanted to preface, I don't drink the milk afterward. I know a lot of people who like chocolate cereal like it because it makes you chocolate milk at the end. Just go make some damn chocolate milk. Go buy some damn chocolate milk if you want chocolate milk. Don't put yourself through the pain and suffering of eating these terrible chocolatey cereals when you could have greatness like a Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds.
AARP called. Your card's ready.
I don't give a shit. I told you when I said that. I don't care what anybody's opinion is. This shit is good. And if you haven't tried it because you think it's an old ass person's cereal, you got to go try it.
I've tried it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Jay,
I'm talking to all the listeners out there. All right, all the 1 or 2 people we're gonna have on episode 1. If you haven't tried Honey Bunches of Oats with
Montana and Jay.
Yes, probably. So. I'm telling you, it's so good. I know it sounds like an old person cereal. It's delicious. Give it all to me. I love it. So that's our top 5. Let me run down my top 5 again. So at number 5, we had Frosted Mini Wheats. Again, you can eat them regular. You can eat them soggy. They're fire. They got that little bit of sugar on top. You can get it with the strawberry filling in the middle.
God, I cannot wait to win this one. The first one is going to be mine.
Cap'n Crunch Berries. Of course, it's on both our lists, so we both like that one. Lucky Charms. Like I said, as soon as you see the marshmallow fake, artificial colors go into the milk, it's getting ready. Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds. I told you, AARP, I don't give a shit. Fire. Fruity Pebbles, absolute goat cereal of all time. I don't care. Fred's with me. I got Fred and Barney. They're on my side, so I at least got 2 votes. You ain't got shit with your number 1. Who's on the cover of Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
A Cinnamon Toast Crunch with eyes in the mouth.
Yeah, it's the stupidest shit I ever seen in my life. Okay, so I just want to again reiterate the point that you chose a cereal that is a knockoff of an actual breakfast food. So just, by default, you should lose. And you do lose because you got some trash opinions in here.
I mean, you've got Frosted Mini Wheats in your top 5. I don't know how anybody can vote for a list that has Frosted Mini Wheats in it. And I mean, a lot of if we've got grandparents listening, then they'll like your Honey Bunches of Oats take. But I don't think anybody's grandparents is going to listen to a podcast. I don't think they know what a podcast is.
Well, I plan to send this URL to my grandmother, so you've got one list.
There's one vote that you're going to get then for your Honey Bunches of Oats at number 2.
I don't care. They're fire. Yeah, so that's 1 through 5. Let us know what you all think about our top 5s. And per usual, I mean, y'all can trash us and your feedback or whatever, but I really don't care. To be honest with you, I can handle it because this shit is the truth. I know Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds is the truth. I know Fruity Pebbles are the GOAT, so I don't need anybody to confirm that, give me any kind of pats on the back for having the best choices. I mean, you put this literally the second most basic cereal of all time as your number 2. It's a Cheerio that's named Honey Wait, Honey Nut Cheerio. It's got 0 nuts in it and like 1/20th of a teaspoon of honey. Why don't you just put some honey on your Cheerios? I don't know what that would taste like, but
Not the same, man.
then that doesn't make any difference.
It's not the same. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Just check Instagram so that you can make a comment.
What is our Instagram, Wes?
It is at
5 Over Friends.
5 Over Friends. That's
It's
what
pretty
it is.
simple.
Yeah,
It's 5 Over Friends.
FIVEOVERFRIENDS. We're on Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, everybody submit your topics and give us feedback on the episodes. We want to hear what you think, what you want us to do differently, what you want us to add, what you want us to take away. We picked a topic that didn't go too awful long for this first episode, so we could give the background as well with this. But let's get some topics where we have some in-depth debates and can go back and forth. Let's get heated.
Yeah, I just want to, I got to put this out there. Whenever we have a listener on, it's no holds barred. I'm going to have to trash you just like I trash Wes, just like I trash anybody who came on here and tried to tell me that their number 2 cereal was Honey Nut Cheerios. I don't give a shit who it is. That's just how it's going to be. So, and then I was also thinking, maybe there is, for the loser of the episode, we got to make them do something. So we're going to think about that a little bit too, because I want Wes to have to do something dumb next week after he loses this first one to some AARP cereals.
All right, let's think of a weekly loser. Maybe they have to do something in the next episode at the beginning, or we'll come up with something.
I got some ideas, buddy. We'll talk about it offline.
And if we're stuck on deciding, we may throw it to a vote to the listeners. See what you guys want to see.
For sure. All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate it. And gals. Yeah, everybody who's listening. So appreciate it. Thanks for putting up with us for this first episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know any topics. And thanks again.
We're out. Thanks for supporting our show, 5 Over Friends.
We hope you'll join us next week as we debate a new topic.
Don't forget to submit topics on our latest Instagram post for a chance to be our next guest debating your top 5.
Subscribe, rate the show, and share with your friends to help us grow.
See y'all next week.